If you can't stop thinking about your ex, it's because they were the one for you. I mean, because of course, the love of your life is going to cause you anxiety all the time. They're going to leave you on red. They're going to give you mixed signals. And ultimately, they're going to take a little vacation from you to go talk to other people, only to spin back around, which is going to spiral your anxiety, and you're going to seek out videos like this to give you reassurance. That's just what love is. Obviously, this sounds completely ridiculous when you say it out loud to yourself, but here's the real reason why you can't stop thinking about your ex. It's because you're experiencing attachment withdrawals, and your mind is in a state of traumatization. It's not just in your head. Your entire nervous system is lit up like a Christmas tree. If your nervous system is on fire right now, it's because the person that you trusted did not keep that nervous system safe. My name is Cody. I'm an attachment therapist and dating coach. And one of the biggest mistakes that people make after a breakup is assuming that because they are stuck on this person, it means that they were uniquely special. And if they were special and you let them slip through your fingers, then you're gonna kick yourself because maybe you'll never find a love like that ever again. And that is where the feeling of panic comes from. And that is why your brain is scrambling to try to find a way to get them back. And while this might be your current emotional reality, it's not truth. And I know it's not truth because I myself have been there before. The not sleeping, the not eating, the pacing around the house, constantly checking your phone for a text that's probably never going to come, replaying the same conversations over and over again. Yes, it does suck, but hear me out. You're actually not currently attached to the person. You're attached to the unanswered questions. Were they an avoidant? Were they a narcissist? Why did they change up on me? Was it something that I did wrong? Are they with someone else? Are they ever going to come back around and realize what they truly lost? When someone you deeply care about is hot and cold, your brain immediately turns them into a puzzle that needs to be solved. And it really does feel like the only way to be okay again is to solve this puzzle. But the core problem is that this is an unsolvable puzzle. Someone who's emotionally avoidant does not have the resources to make you feel emotionally comfortable, because if they did, then you'd probably still be with them. Their inconsistency causes anxiety. Anxiety leads to panic. Panic creates obsession. And from a clinical perspective, this is where cognitive fusion kicks on in full blast. Cognitive fusion is when your thoughts and emotions start to feel like facts. So instead of you being like, oh, I'm having the thought that I'm missing them again, instead you tell yourself, oh, because I feel this way, they definitely were my person. Instead of you identifying the thought that your nervous system is simply activated right now, you're fused with the idea that if you don't get them back, you're never going to be okay again. That fusion can feel very intense, and not just intense, but meaningful. And for some people, even romantic. But it's not secure, sustainable love. It's your nervous system trying to finish an unfinished story. The nervous system hates unfinished stories. And that is why one text for them can feel like instant relief. One apology can feel like hope. One "I miss you" can erase months of inconsistency and borderline abuse. Missing someone is not proof that they're good for you. And chemistry is not the same thing as compatibility. So how do you break the cycle? Well, first you have to interrupt the loop that you're stuck in. You're gonna have to stop asking yourself, why did they do what they did? What did they mean? Did they ever care? And instead ask yourself questions like, well, were they consistent from the beginning? Because if they were, would you be feeling the way that you're feeling right now? Were they honest? Were they clear? Were they intentional? Were they capable of building something real? Your brain wants closure, but your future needs clarity. And clarity comes not from the words that they give you, but instead from accepting the patterns of behavior for what they were. And let me tell you something else that might be very helpful. If this person is trying to spin back around in your life because you finally started to do your own healing work and you want to put some distance between you and them, is that as a professional coach who has coached many people through avoidant discards, there's not one example I can think of where their avoidant ex actually changed and came back around and there was a happy relationship to be had. There's not one example I can think of, and there's years that I've done this. Because your avoidant ex doesn't miss you, they miss the comfort, they miss the unrestricted access, and they miss the ego hit of you wanting them and chasing them. Because think about it this way, someone who actually respects boundaries and is able to tolerate some distance is not going to force themselves on you when you're trying to heal and get better. And if someone is trying to come back in your life who has some self-awareness and emotional availability, they're only going to attempt to do so if there is actual intention of repair and rebuilding. But at the end of the day, secure love isn't substantiated by the fact that someone is coming back in your life. If anything, you can reframe that and realize that a secure person is not going to leave you in the first place. They would never risk that because they value you so much. A secure person doesn't leave you by yourself having to guess what the hell their intentions were. And even if a secure person is not interested, they're going to be very direct and honest with you about it. There's not going to be ambiguity. The final step ultimately is going to be rebuilding your own trust in your self-judgment. Because when you find yourself on the losing end of an avoidant discard, you question your reality and you question your ability to vet proper partners. And that usually is the saddest thing about these situations, but there absolutely is hope, because if you do learn how to vet properly and how to filter out avoidance and emotionally unavailable people as soon as you can, you're not going to find yourself in this position ever again. And remember, you can't get closure from someone who causes you confusion. Instead, you need to become secure enough to not negotiate with inconsistency. If you want more attachment-based dating advice and you're really struggling, you can DM me help now, or you can follow and watch my videos and send them to someone who could also benefit from them.